Good morning. Today is Monday, June 15th, and your President Donald Trump is waking up somewhere over the Atlantic. He left D.C. this morning around 2:40 a.m., headed to the G7 summit in Geneva, Switzerland. All these times listed right here are in Eastern time zone, and I'm going to be reading the agenda from my iPad because this font is a little tiny for my tired eyes on this early Monday morning. At 11:30 a.m., he will be participating in a bilateral meeting with the President of the French Republic, that is Emmanuel Macron. At 1 o'clock today, he has an official greeting with the G7 leaders. And at 1:30 today, he will be participating in a G7 leaders working dinner. And in case you're like, Amy, what is G7 and what does that mean? It's the group of 7 leaders that get together from the countries of Canada, the United States, Italy, Germany, Japan, the United Kingdom, and France. So much to report around the Twitter sphere. It broke yesterday. Pakistan has announced that the United States and Iran have officially reached a peace deal, and the official signing will take place on June 19th in Switzerland at the G7 summit. The White House shared this yesterday, just the beginning of a legendary night at the People's House. What an amazing photo. Michael Knowles shared the president paid to get the epic flyover UFC photo, and it was well worth whatever it cost. But stop to consider that he got this photo right here for free, and this is not AI generated. That's an actual photo. Trump and Zelensky have reportedly held a phone call to discuss ending the war with Russia, and they have agreed to meet at the G7. I love it when people who disagree with President Trump politically can still agree that sometimes he's doing some pretty awesome things. Stephen Smith shared, gotta be honest, this UFC event at the White House looks spectacular. This is a big time show. I'm not there, and we all know the complaints folks had about renovations at and around the White House, etc. But to be fair, this is some impressive stuff I'm looking at. Props to UFC President Dana White and the show they've put on. It's big time, plain and simple. The UFC and Mark Zuckerberg have teamed up to give every blind veteran in America a free pair of Meta glasses. That's amazing and very generous. Authorities are investigating a fire that broke out at former Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt's campaign office in the Pacific Palisades. I'm sure there's absolutely nothing fishy going on there, right? Mandy says, can someone please explain it to me like I'm 5, why members of Congress are more upset that Elon became a trillionaire than they are that Somalis have defrauded our government out of hundreds of billions of dollars? I've got nothing. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, has announced a social media ban for under 16s. The only exception to that is going to be the app Blue Sky. Very interesting that that's the app they've chosen because it is a very liberal app. Samuel Davis, a 17-year-old, stabbed a store clerk to death in San Antonio, Texas for refusing to give him tobacco. His bond is set at just $500,000. The Senate has once again rejected the Save America Act as part of budget reconciliation. In a vote of 48 to 50, it would have required a voter ID and proof of citizenship nationwide. The Republican nays are Tom Tillis, Lisa Murkowski, Mitch McConnell, and Susan Collins. One of my least favorite people on the planet, Hillary Clinton, said yesterday, remember during today's literal cage match on the White House grounds, no matter what, it's not his house, it's our house. Get a hat, coaster, or sticker to support groups and candidates who will respect the form and the function of the People's House. Hillary, do I need to remind you what your husband was doing in the People's House? Have you forgotten that? Have you also forgotten the amount of White House merchandise that you had to bring back to the White House because y'all took it when you packed up and left DC? Did you forget that? Just a friendly reminder. 12 people are dead yesterday after a skydiving plane crashed near an airport in Missouri. Authorities say the aircraft was carrying 11 skydivers and a pilot when it went down near Butler Memorial Airport. Emergency crews responded to the fiery crash scene as federal investigators begin working to determine what caused the tragedy. In England, a journalist went to a Muslim neighborhood to say that they are peaceful, and soon a gang of Muslims showed up to tell her to leave because they were going to her. Can't make it up. The Obama Presidential Center is set to open to the public this Friday as multiple black contractors and subcontractors are furious after they've been left on the hook for hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in unpaid work and cost overrun on the project, according to Fox News. One plumbing company alone says it still owed nearly $4 million after delays, rework, and over 100 change orders. Construction costs have ballooned from an original estimate of around $330 million to at least $850 million, while the promised $470 million taxpayer safety net endowment sits at just $1 million. But don't forget, if you show a valid ID showing proof of residency in Illinois, you can get a $4 discount to his museum. That's it for me for today. Y'all take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.